So with regards to embarkation, there are obviously some changes that have been implemented as a result of COVID-19 to make sure that we can maintain as much safety on the ship as possible. So of course, before you even get on board, you get tested to make sure that you're COVID negative. So that's done at the port. You arrive, you give your date of birth, your name, etc. They give you, it's funny because it looks a bit like, it made me think of like a lollipop sort of thing, you know, those drumstick sweets. But obviously that's going to contain your swab so it's just the two nostrils. You can do it yourself, or they could do it for you. So then you get given, I said it was like, is it the COVID tombola? You get given a little ticket with your number on, and 20 minutes later they call out your number. Hopefully you're COVID negative. I don't know what happens if you're COVID positive, because luckily we did not have that situation. So you're then allowed to start heading towards the ship. There's actually a shuttle in place taking you from where you had your COVID test. So at the Port of Dover, it's in the old train station building. That's where all of this is being done. And they take you from there to the ship in the shuttle bus. You must have your NHS COVID pass, either on your phone or on paper. And you present that along with your passport, and so that's again another difference. You also, I mean, traditionally there's always been a health questionnaire before embarking on a ship, but that's usually with regards to norovirus. But obviously, they would want anyone on board who's had symptoms in the last few days of coronavirus, so they've added a few more questions. So there's a little bit of a checklist that they do, and then. So there's the additional measures in place. It's also important to note that as we were going through this process, they did also ask for our proof of our day 2 test, which is currently in place at the moment. Obviously, I know the government has recently announced some changes with regards to PCR testing requirements, and I know, but currently, we did need to have proof that we'd already booked our PCR test for day 2. So they just asked for the reference, and you know, other than that, you tick all those boxes and eventually you get through on board and embark. And so you get your first sight of the ship, which is always very exciting. So I'd say it's minimal inconvenience really, and at least it gives you that sense of reassurance that everyone on board is safe and healthy, and long may that continue, of course. So again, with COVID, social distancing is being observed on board, and obviously we have to wear face coverings when we're walking about the ship. And also what Fred also do, I'm wearing a jacket at the moment, we have these track safe wristbands. It's another new fashion accessory, like our face masks, very 2020/2021, and again, so the idea of this is you wear it pretty much all the time. I mean, sadly it doesn't really go with much of what I've brought with me, but the idea is that if you have been in contact with someone who actually presents and is diagnosed with COVID while you're on board, if your wristband thing has been near them, it's a bit of a tracking thing, but not you personally, just your wristband. It kind of makes me think of Robinson Pool, except you can't submerge it in water. So yeah, there's just a few measures in place, just to make sure that everyone's safe, and like I say, it gives reassurance, and we can still enjoy the cruise pretty much as fully as before, really. And so that's the embarkation process. Obviously, if you've cruised before, you'll be familiar with muster stations, which is always just such a drag. So that has been changed slightly in view with COVID. So there's a video on your cabin TV that you're supposed to watch, and then you're also supposed to go find your lifeboat and get signed off by a member of the crew. The thing is, this probably wasn't as streamlined as it should have been, because Rachel and I, we did go to the lifeboat, but I think after we weren't given, there wasn't a designated time given to you need to be there by, so we must have got there too late. We did take a photo of the lifeboat to show that we'd been there, and actually, if you're not signed off by crew, you will get a phone call from reception. Well, firstly you get a letter through, saying you haven't been seen to attend, you'll need to attend in the morning of day 2. So we called reception and explained that we had seen, we could send a photo of proof that we'd been to the lifeboat, etc. So muster station's a bit different. I mean, I always think obviously it's a bit like when you're on the airplane and you have to listen to them do all the, waving hands and airbag videos and stuff. So yeah, of course there are some changes. Maybe that might need to be a bit finessed a little bit more, but just something to be aware of.